point and shoot camera. Let's talk about it. If you're anything like me, you end up spending an absurd amount of time on YouTube watching videos about cameras, camera gear, and new technology. In a world obsessed with technology and innovation, it's easy to get sucked into this thing. In fact, it's kind of human nature to seek out the next big thing. I think what's happening is we're ending up feeding this desire that our brains have to find the next best thing, and that makes us think we're being productive. But whenever you do that, does it really lead you to doing anything actually productive? I feel like we end up spending so much time just sitting on our phones watching these videos and nothing actually productive comes from it. We don't end up going out and creating, or maybe we do, but it lasts for like a day and then we quit. But anyway, the point of all of this I'm trying to make is I wanted to try to fix that. And I think the way to fix that is I made this equation. Create more than you consume. I know that's nothing crazy, it's nothing revolutionary, but I think it's a good philosophy to live by. And anyway, all this led me to thinking, how can I try to do that? How can I try to create more than I'm consuming? Well, maybe the answer is to not worry about gear, but instead try to go out, maybe just take photos with something like an old point and shoot camera. But here's the thing, I'm not trying to tell you that gear doesn't matter. I'm actually trying to tell you that it does. Because while I was doing this, and while I was going out and using just a point and shoot camera, I actually found something that has nothing to do with this whole philosophy, and it has to do all with this. Because I bought this camera to not worry about the gear and try to just focus on honing in your skill and ability. But while I was doing that, I discovered something I didn't think I was going to. And that's actually the utility in the point and shoot camera. Yes, it's a limitation in certain ways, but what I found is that this actually opens up a whole new world to photography and just capturing life's moments in general that I didn't think was possible. Let me explain. So when you break it down the way I see it, there's 3 advantages a small point and shoot camera like this will have over a DSLR or a mirrorless camera, a big camera that you might bring with you. The first thing obviously being its size. I mean, this thing can fit in any pocket. That actually leads to you using it a lot more than you might think. If you can just have something with you that's dedicated simply to taking photos, you'd be surprised how that shifts your whole mindset. It makes capturing life's candid moments a lot easier. With most cameras, you have to learn a lot about it if you want to be able to use it right. But with these, they're literally made for people who have no idea how to use a camera. You can literally just turn it on and press the record button, and you're good to go. Just like that. The automatic settings in these cameras are fine, they're good. They get the job done. And what that also means is when you're going from physical location to another location, you don't have to worry about fiddling around with your settings and changing them because the camera does it for you, and it does it in a pretty decent way that creates a flat, good-looking image. And that also leads me into talking about the third thing. You get a dynamic that's reminiscent to, remember when everyone was running around with the disposable cameras a few years ago? If you try to think, like, why did everyone have such a fascination with those disposable cameras? And I think it was because there was this thing that was dedicated solely to taking photos and capturing moments. And I think what that does, when you're using something that's not just a normal phone, it's more personable. It sounds kind of weird, but that will really change the dynamic of anywhere you're at. For example, my friends and I took a point and shoot camera on a trip with us, and the photos we got with it were so good and so funny looking at the next day. It was honestly a great time, and it became the highlight of our trip, having this camera with us, because not only did we love it, but everywhere we went, people wanted to be in the photos, have their photos taken, and just be in photos with us. It was a huge crowd pleaser for some reason, and it's literally a social magnet when you're out in different situations. It's kind of crazy. And that social aspect is the biggest reason you might just want to go rummaging around in your parents' old stuff and try to find an old point and shoot camera and take it out with you next time you go out. And I think you might be surprised the kind of moments that not only does this camera capture, but the kind of moments it actually creates. But yeah, thanks for watching this video. If any of you go out and try to do this, which I seriously think you should at least try once, please let me know. I'd love to know how it goes for you. And let me know if you want to see me do a video dedicated just to going out, getting photos with this, and I'll video the whole thing and make it a whole other thing. But yeah, let me know if you want to see that. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.